Hello and welcome. Fuck. I forgot that I had my headphones on, and now I can hear myself playing back as I'm recording, and it's weird, and, one moment. Alright, headphones are off. Now, I can still hear it through my headphones, even though they're off my head, but it's very faint. Hello and welcome to a new series that I'm calling One Pack Cast, where I make Sims using only one pack, or in this case, using just the base game, in honor of the fact that the base game is going to be free on October 18th for everyone. I figured this was a good point to start. I plan on doing these videos in order of pack release. I'll do a few more base game videos. As you can see, these Sims are based on Willow Creek. I will do Oasis Springs next, then I will do Outdoor Retreat because that was the very first pack that released, then Get to Work, then Luxury Party, and so on and so forth. Eventually, I will do Sims with just the base game based on Newcrest, but I will do that after I do all of the packs that came out before Newcrest. As you may have gathered from my content, I play CC free. I do play with some mods, and recently I've added more mods to my game, but I play entirely CC free. I used to dabble in CC way back in 2017 when I started The Sims, especially Alpha CC. Then I transitioned to Maxis Match, and now I'm completely CC free because it is too much to keep track of. There are too many options. As a result, I appreciate the items that come in the DLC a lot more, and so that's what inspired this entire idea. I was working on my base game only save file and decided that I should make videos where I use one pack and the base game. Especially since not everyone owns all of the DLC, and there are so many builds and Sims on the gallery that use a million packs, and you can't download them, otherwise they'll be missing items or missing things. That's the other reason that I'm working on a base game only save file, because you can add stuff into it without having to worry about downloading a save file that uses a bunch of packs and you don't have one and then someone's bald. Now, I must confess that I'm not the first person to make videos of making Sims using only one pack. Asphodel Moon has also made Sims and builds using only one pack for months now. I discovered this after I came up with this idea, but I will link her in the description. You should check her videos out. She's been doing a lot of the more recent packs, while I intend to start for the base game and work towards present day. Now that all of that background information is out of the way, allow me to walk you through my thought process for these Sims. I made these Sims with the intention of representing Willow Creek, because making a base game Sim that represents the base game as a whole doesn't fully represent both the worlds that came with the base game, Oasis Springs and Willow Creek. I decided to make two black Sims to represent the culture and part of the population of New Orleans, because last time I did this, I made a base game Sim based on the general vibe of the base game. I made two white Sims, so it only seemed fair to bring in the diversity. I even used my trusty, reliable fantasy name generator in their real name section to find ethnically appropriate African American names, and that's how I got the names Tembi Knight and Jamichael Moody. I could not remember his last name, but if those names are wildly inappropriate or inaccurate, please let me know, because I am trying my best to make Sims that are inclusive and diverse, who represent people outside of myself, because I am simply a cis white guy who happens to like boys. I also tried to represent how I interpret Willow Creek using these Sims' personalities. So I gave both of these Sims the family aspirations because I interpret Willow Creek as the place that values the nuclear family and is probably the most conservative of all of the Sims worlds. But I still tried to subvert stereotypes in a way by giving Tembi, the girl, the successful lineage aspiration and giving Jamichael the big happy family aspiration, because oftentimes we expect the woman to just want a big family, to raise kids and be a great mom, and the dad to be the one who wants his kids to be successful. But I wanted to subvert that and give them the opposite aspirations and have the mom be the one who really cares about ambition and success, hence why she is cheerful, perfectionist, and ambitious, and Jamichael is family-oriented, and I can't remember the rest of his traits. The other component of all of our base game Sims 4 experiences is often being a painter extraordinaire, and I intend to implement artsy aspirations into my Oasis Spring Sims because I think that will fit them more, even though a lot of us will move into Daisy Hovel or Streamlet Single and buy an easel and make our money that way in Willow Creek. But I interpret Oasis Springs as more of the liberal, artsy area where people can be themselves. So that's what I'm going to channel in those Sims eventually. That video should come next week, but given my schedule with college, that may not happen, but that is the plan. So hopefully you can find that and stay tuned for that. You may notice that I have given, especially Tembi, a lot of different outfits for some of her categories. I don't always do this. I usually do this more so for Sims that I actually plan on playing with, but sometimes I get a little bit lazy and I don't always do it for Sims that I'm not playing with. But I think it's realistic for Sims to have multiple outfits, and sometimes they'll use a pair of pants that they wore in another outfit in a different outfit because you don't always buy a different pair of pants just for one occasion. So I think overall I dressed her pretty realistically. Another thing that I do when dressing Sims that isn't entirely realistic is I often dress my Sims to match a certain color scheme. Often that matches with their favorite color, because you'd imagine that if someone's favorite color is, you know, blue, they probably wear a lot of blue. And in The Sims, that's possible, and the only way that you can represent someone's favorite color. But then I look at Pinterest and I see a bunch of outfits that don't come in those colors, but I still want to dress them in that, and you often find that a lot of colors don't work for many styles, so I run into that predicament a lot. But for this Sim, I dressed her in a lot of cream tones, browns. Her favorite colors are white and brown, I think, maybe yellow. And for Jamichael, I didn't really do much of that. I think I dressed him in a lot of blues and reds, maybe? Yeah, I think so. Again, I'm recording this voiceover, and we haven't even gotten to Jamichael yet, so I stand corrected. We have now finished Tembi, and we are beginning with Jamichael. Interestingly enough, I think that Jamichael is a great example of showcasing all of the new items that we've received since the base game was released, because they've added a lot of great things, especially for Black Sims, to the game that come with the base game since its release, like the hair he currently has that came with Discover University but then was made base game later on, along with the hair that Tembi, I already forgot her name, I'm so sorry, Tembi is wearing in her formal wear. And the beard that I eventually give him was also an addition to the base game that came very recently with werewolves. And the shirt he has on, I don't know if this is one of the new swatches. I think it is, but this shirt received a bunch of new swatches recently, and I believe I give him the new jeans that came in that same patch. So overall, I think Jamichael is a great representation of the new things that come with the base game that make making Sims with just the base game possible and not super weird looking and boring. I purposely made both of these Sims unrelated and not in a romantic relationship or siblings, so that way you can add one or both of them to your game and have them be love interests for your own Sims, and they're not guaranteed to be together, even though they have slightly compatible aspirations, and I do intend to put them on the gallery. They should either be on the gallery now or shortly after this video goes up. My gallery ID is Eddie Sherman, capital E, capital S. If you want to go find these Sims on the gallery, I will also be putting my future one-pack cast creations on the gallery as well. I will start posting more on the gallery than I have in the past. There are a few creations on the gallery that you might enjoy, including a cat cottage that I am very proud of. I made it with just cats and dogs and the base game for some Sims that I was playing with a while ago. I haven't played with them in a while, but the cottage I'm still really proud of because it was one of the first builds I made using only reference photos that of like interior, like a house tour type thing, where it showed an exterior photo and then some interior photos that showed you enough of the house, but there was no floor plan. And up until then, I struggled to build any house without a floor plan and have it look decent. I think that's about all I have to say to you today. Until next time, I will not see you because this is a parasocial relationship. You will hear me, at the very least, maybe see me, in another video, depending on what video you watch. End of voiceover.